Well, hello, baseball fans, and welcome to this edition of the Paul Kino Lamar Viking Baseball Coaches Show. I'm Bill Frawley. With me, as always, is head Viking baseball coach Paul Kino, and apparently with me also is my dog Lola, who decided to jump in, and that threw me off for a second. Coach,
got a little visitor right there.
Exactly, and she is the little one. If Archie comes in, he's the 75-pound bundle of joy. So, but how are you doing, Coach?
I'm good. Hopefully everybody had a good Easter, and had a few days off and got rebuilt and re-energized, and so hopefully everybody had a really good Easter.
Well, that's good. Yeah, students had a day off from school at least, and so today, and so hopefully they come back ready to go to class and play some baseball. And speaking of playing some baseball, Coach, I just want to take a minute and kind of recap the district season. In fact, district started during spring break. And what did the Vikings do? Well, they took on Royce City, and swept them here and there. Then you start your district play because y'all had that bye week and got to play a non-district opponent. You split with Martin. You won at home like you would really hope to do. You always hope for the sweep, but hey, Martin's a tough team to sweep, right?
Oh, they're a very good baseball team, yes.
Perennially. And then you sweep Sam Houston. You sweep Grand Prairie. You beat Tyler Legacy and Tyler on Saturday this past weekend. Coach, this is really kind of forming into a really great season. And you had said early, this is a playoff team. So go ahead.
Oh, I truly believe it's a playoff team. I mean, we started slow. I think we were 1-6, coming, in tournaments, as far as, the first couple tournaments, maybe 2-7. So, I mean, the kids have really gelled and really started playing really good baseball. Kids step up. They take time to learn to play varsity baseball. It's a little different than playing JV. Pitches are finer. Pitchers locate better. Probably throw a little bit harder. It takes a little time to learn how to play varsity baseball, and it takes time to learn how you have to practice to be able to play varsity baseball. So I'm very proud of them. I'm very proud of where we're at right now. We got a big series coming up against Arlington High. Arlington High's got a really good baseball team. I think we're a really good baseball team. It should be a really fun week. Good competitive games. Either team can win. We got to go out and do the little things right. We got to, do what we talk about always doing, making the routine plays, throwing strikes, not walking people, competing at the plate, being a tough out. If they get me, I'm going to force them to throw 5, 6, 10 pitches. So, I mean, I'm just excited. I'm ready for this week. Talk to the kids about it. Arlington High's a rival. Could be some things coming out of the stands and we can't react to them. Could be things coming out of the other team's dugout and we can't react to them. It's, it's about who's going to play the best baseball, and we can't get lost in talking. I know we live in a society where, we're very, very politically correct, but there's probably been talking going on in baseball for a long time. And, as long as it doesn't cross lines.
Yeah.
You don't make it personal. You don't call out, hey, 22, you don't say them by name, but, there's going to be some talking going on. And, what I talked to the kids about was, well, we got to handle it for one. And two, we can't allow the talking to become more important than the game.
That's a really good point, Coach. That is true. Yeah.
So, and, because kids like to one-up each other. So, I mean, but we can't allow that to become more important than what happens on the field. And I really believe in our group. Like I told them, I love them today. I believe in them. I expect to, take 2 from Arlington High, and I'm sure Coach Womack's saying the same thing over there to his kids. So it ought to be fun this week, and we need a big turnout at both games. So hopefully our student body shows up over there and at our place on Friday, and we play good baseball.
Definitely so. One thing about playing good baseball, and Coach, you let me know if I'm remembering wrong over the last 16 years I've been doing what I do with the team and stuff, the game. But this seems to be one of the most, and I'm going to say offensive, not offensive, offensive teams. The bats have been coming alive a lot. And I'm looking back at some of these scores. I mean, scoring, 12 runs, 14, 8, 10, Okay, one against Martin in the win, but 20, 10, 12. I mean, the bats have come alive and figuring out how to get some runs across the plate. Am I correct? This is one of the higher scoring teams in a while.
Yes, it is. I mean, we've
Okay.
been swinging the bats well overall. So I mean, it's one of the higher batting average teams I've had in a while. They really work. They've really embraced having an approach at the plate,
Okay.
team wide, and we go up there looking for certain pitches. We really battle with two strikes. We take a good two-strike approach. So I've been very pleased with what we're doing so far.
Good. And you answered some of the questions I was going to ask. What has made a difference this year in having those higher scoring games? And you've talked about the approach at the plate and those types of things.
I mean, some kids do it, some kids aren't as good at it, but team wise, it seems like we've really embraced it and become pretty good at it. Just taking an approach. We're not just going up there to swing at pitches. We're going up there with an approach of what we're looking for, what we're trying to swing at. Until we get to two strikes, then our approach has to change a little bit. And that depends on what the pitcher is, who the pitcher is, how he's throwing, and different things. But overall, they've done a fantastic job.
Well, it's definitely been fun to watch, and fun to watch at all levels, because all three teams are doing really well overall and scoring some runs and putting guys on base and getting them across the home plate at times. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, I'm going to talk a little bit about the games against Arlington High this week. So y'all go over there Tuesday, tomorrow night as we're recording this. And, it's interesting. I've thought about this a lot. We may have talked about this at times. You play football. It is 100 yards between goal lines and 55 yards wide. I can't remember exactly for sure. And pretty much, the Grand Prairie, the Gopher Warrior Bowl has closer sidelines but the field of play is the same. One of the fascinating things about baseball is not every field is the same.
Oh, no, you're exactly right.
Left field, it's not always symmetrical. And so, as a lot of people know, the field at Arlington High, and this is not being critical, but it's one of the more unique ballparks that you're going to play in, because it's sort of squeezed into a spot. There's not much space behind home plate and foul territory. Mm-hmm. They've got their own version of a green monster kind of thing. Does it make a difference when you're playing in a situation like that? It's how you approach anything.
No, I mean, I honestly love playing at Arlington High's field. I like you said, it's kind of got an old school atmosphere. Kind of makes me feel like, the 1950s ballpark, in the neighborhood. So, I mean, I love going over there and playing it. It's a great, it's a great field. They have great fans. They have a good team. So I love going over there and playing. It's a challenge. It's what I want. I don't like to go play teams where we just get beat up on them. I want to play a good team. I want to play in a good venue, which Arlington High is. And I want to go over there and I want to compete. And I just enjoy going over there. Like you said, it's a short backstop. So you got to know at third base whether you can really try to score on a pass ball. Got the big deep center field. Got the school back behind the right field fence, the practice football field, behind the left field fence. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a really unique park, and I enjoy going over there. Fans are right on top of the field. I mean, it's great environment because, I mean, when we played JJ Pierce the last two times in the playoffs, and we go over there, their stands are right on the field. So we've experienced something like that. It's not the first time, all of a sudden the fans are 3 feet away. And, I mean, and JJ Pierce had a great student body and they talked a lot. Oh, yeah. And I don't mean to offend anybody, because I know that we live in a society where we're not supposed to talk. We're not supposed to talk, bad. I don't want to say bad. You're not supposed to give each other a hard time, and it's
not supposed to hurt each other's feelings.
Well, that's why I was saying that, it's part of the game of baseball as long as it doesn't cross lines.
Yes, sir.
As long as it doesn't become personal. You don't make it about an individual. You just come to accept, as a ball player and as a coach, there's going to be talk from dugout to dugout. There's going to be talk, but it's not, you can't cross that line of being personal, calling out, 2-2, hey, 22, or, or if we know them by name, which our players know Arlington High's kids by name, they're not
Oh
calling
yeah.
them, they're not calling us by name. But I mean, to me, it is part of athletics. It's part of, I mean, you can't tell me there's not talking going on the football field.
Oh yeah. It's just
I mean,
further up into
you
the
can't hear
state.
it because you're further away.
Exactly.
But I mean, again, it's just we want to play with sportsmanship. We want to do that. We don't want to be unsportsmanlike by
Right.
any means. But I've always felt it's a little part of the game as long as it doesn't cross the line.
Well, and it's been a part of the game forever. I mean, you and I were young, even back to the Little League days, and there was always some chatter and like you
Yeah.
say, but not making it personal, and just some of that noise is actually part of the game and stuff. So and I hope both teams will keep it, within their proper
Oh,
bounds.
I mean, I think the world of Coach Womack. I really like him a lot. I think, that he's got a good baseball team. Like I said, we got a good baseball team. Um, you know, they feel they're good. We feel they're good. We feel we're good.
Yep.
So it ought to be a lot of fun Tuesday and Friday.
It really will be. And that's, as they say, that's why they play the game, see who wins on each day, because anything can happen on a given day. And Coach Womack, I think I mentioned before, I've known him since he was a little guy, because we used to go to the same church and volunteer with youth. I remember his mom and dad were the youth directors, and I volunteered for them. And I remember when Brian was a little guy, and all the way up through ski trips and everything, and a great guy. And so it's going to be a great matchup, because I think he has the same attitude towards the game that you do and everything. So, how does it, and this is probably one of those book of duck questions, and I've asked it before, but when the Viking fans are there at an away game, maybe especially, but definitely at a home game, and making noise, do y'all hear the cheering? Do y'all hear it?
Oh yeah, we hear it. I mean, it's not totally drowned out. I mean, we hear it.
Okay.
It brings a lot of energy. It brings a lot of electricity. So the more that we can bring our fans out, and they, when we score a run, they're going, yeah.
Okay,
and
cool.
Screaming. And I mean, we feed off of it. I mean, we're just human beings, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to feed off energy. And so the more fans we have, the better it is.
And the energy that they can bring. And it's
Exactly.
good for the fans to make some positive noise and encouragement.
Yeah.
Stuff. And I think that's important to realize, because I think some people have asked sometimes, do they even hear us when they're out there on the field and that kind of, and again, the more fans there are, the more encouragement, the more energy, the more they are going to hear it. So,
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's just kind of some encouragement for our fans to not only show up, but make some noise for the boys.
No, they make a difference. They make a huge difference.
Good deal. So this will be like about halfway through the district play, or a little bit more than, right?
We got six. We got six. So we're at halfway right now.
Yeah. Okay. It's too early to talk about the other stuff, but how do you keep the guys kind of motivated? Y'all are 5-1 in district play right now?
We're 5-1 right now. Arlington High 6-0.
Okay.
Martin's 5-1.
Yeah. So there's 3 teams up there really.
Bowie's 4-2. They had the bye last week.
Okay.
South Carolina's 4-4. So I mean, we're it's a jumble. I mean, you just talk to the kids. I try to treat them, and every coach has their own opinion on how to do it, and there's no right or wrong. But I try to treat them as men, and try to tell them, these are the games. These are the games that could go either way. These are the games we feel like we should win. Right now we've done the things that we're supposed to do. And, to be honest, we probably took a game that we think we should have won, but other people don't think we probably should have won when we beat Martin the first game. Other people weren't probably expecting that. We expect it, but around the district, they may not have expected it. So,
yeah,
we've taken games that we feel like we should take. And people around the district, not to demean any other program or whatever.
Sure, of course.
But you think you should have taken those games that we've taken so far. But Bowie's done the same thing. Bowie has South this week, so we're going to find out. We have Arlington High, so we're going to find out. Kind of, it's going to be a little bit of separation, or maybe a little bit more jumbling up. So. It's a big week for a lot of people, not just us and Arlington High. It'll be a big week. Martin has Grand Prairie. So, I try to let them know where they're at, and let them know that, we're a good baseball team, but we can't take anybody lightly. We have to show up and talk about playing at a high level. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. We need to play like we play baseball at a high level.
Yeah. Is there kind of an analogy then? Because we were talking a little bit before about the success at the plate team wide overall. And I don't want to try to quote you exactly, but basically said you go up expecting to hit the ball, go up expecting to do something.
Yes.
Is it a similar approach to every game then? Let's go to this game, no matter how tough or not as tough some of the opponents may seem to be, but we go in, we expect to win this game.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay.
and that's the transformation from early in the season to now. Like
Okay.
the first tournament and a half, when we just started the second tournament. It's like we were trying to win. And
Gotcha.
now the attitude is we expect to win.
Okay.
And it's just a totally different mindset. And our kids, instead of just trying to win, they go, hey, we're going to win. We will find a way to win. It may not be the same recipe every single game, but we're going to find a way to win instead of, hey, we're going to try to win.
You put it very well. I like the way you put that. I think that's what clinches it then. Good. Okay, good. All right. Well, speaking of, going out there expecting some things, the fans expect some things, the Booster Club, they have been doing a lot of stuff, a lot of fundraising, and it's amazing the type of things they've already done and the things that are on the horizon. Another chance to kind of give a shout out to the Booster Club as you would like to.
Oh, I mean, I keep saying it every show. I think I have the best booster club in the state of Texas. Mr. Schutte is our president. Miss Schutte, they're kind of co-presidents. They do a fantastic job. They come up, I don't know if it's just all their ideas or they kind of put a little committee together and they come up, but they're coming up with so many great ideas of things that, we plan on doing and we want to do to make our ballpark look better, to bring fans, get the community involved in Lamar baseball. I mean, just an outstanding job that they do and that our booster club does.
And Coach, it is a lot of people coming together on stuff because, like the ideas for the theme nights, I think that may have been partly the McKays and the ideas for certain aspects of upgrading the environment. So not just the field, but the environment, so to speak, some other people. And I got to tell you, being at those booster club meetings, it's so cool. And I'll use that word. It's a hip word, I guess. But I'll try to sound hip at 58. But it's so cool to be in those meetings. And people are coming together with the ideas. They might be refining the idea through discussion, but you don't see anything close to, no, we should be doing this, not that. Or that's not. It's all so cohesive.
Collaborative.
Yeah.
And I think it's so nice. It's so nice to see. They're, like you said, I mean, the McKays are running the concession stand. They do a fabulous job. I mean, we have so many people doing a lot of things, and it makes it easier.
And it's a cohesive group, almost like the team, not just trying to win, expecting to win. That booster club is expecting to do great things, and it's almost which are we going to do first?
And I think that comes from Mr. and Mrs. Schutte. I mean, it comes from the booster club presidents, and they do a fantastic job.
Good leadership.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Coach, I'm going to ask you a question. We've talked about the drag that has the new drag shown up yet?
It has.
Oh,
it is nice. It is like driving a Cadillac. It is so awesome.
I'm so glad.
Starts right up. It's awesome.
You don't have to double clutch it and all that kind of stuff.
No, you don't have to. You're not hoping it starts. I mean, it kicks right over. Thank you, district, because I mean, it's awesome. Just feel very, very fortunate, to have, the new drag, and it's so nice.
And just so people are 100% sure what we're talking about, it's the tractor basically type thing that pulls the screen that helps smooth out the dirt, between the infield and outfield. That's what the drag is.
This one has like the old one before it broke. This one has the one that you just push a button and it lowers it down. So I don't even bring the screen behind me anymore.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah,
that is the Cadillac.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm so glad for you, the other coaches and the team and the whole facility. That's awesome news. All right. Well, Coach, anything else you want to add before we sign off for tonight?
No, when I talk, and I try to talk freely, and so a lot of times people don't know, but after we get off of this, I'll be like, Mr. Frawley, is this okay that I said this? And I do worry, like when I said, I expect a certain amount of talking, because there's going to be parents out there that probably go, well, that shouldn't happen. I mean, it's athletics. Things are going to happen as long as and maybe they'll get mad at me and say, well, we shouldn't talk. We should, I don't know. All I know is they're athletes. They're young men. They're full of testosterone. There's going to be some talking, as long as, like I said, as long as it doesn't get pointed at one person, it doesn't get personal. To me, that's always been athletics. People can disagree with me and I'm going to respect what they think. But
Well, I think you tempered it very well by saying, yes, there can be talking, but don't cross the line. Don't single out a person, a coach, whatever. Definitely don't single out the umpires,
yes.
but just have some fun, make some noise for your team and stuff, and
Yeah.
increase the environment. No, I think you've said it very well. And so there's
Okay.
2 of us anyway, at least. So
Okay, good.
we'll see how that goes. But no, and I do appreciate all the conversations you and I get to have offline as well. So it's great. What about anything? You were letting me vent about my job before we started.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be real open. It's a really great thing.
Well, you've been doing this so long. We formed a great relationship. I love you to death. I mean,
Love
you
you,
are the
brother.
voice of the Lamar Vikings
Well, thanks.
baseball. I mean, I don't want to step on Jay's,
Right, for football, yeah.
but I mean, you are our voice and you do a credible job. I mean, I've told you before, you could probably go get paid to do this. So we're very thankful to have you. And, I just love you to death.
Well, I love you, brother, and I'm glad to be able to do it. I do still consider it a privilege overall, and I don't know if someone offered me money, I might just have to say, well, you got to work around this Lamar High School schedule. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't think that's on the horizon. But anyway, well, Coach, again, I appreciate you taking the time for this and the fact that you do speak so freely, and you're very open about stuff. And I think that's what makes these shows a success, and people love to see that and hear that. So, all right. Well, until next time. I'm Bill Frawley with head Viking coach Paul Kino saying VFND.
Bye, guys.